It's not just about having one good shot. In tennis, you have to have everything.
You've got to start from the bottom and go up.
It doesn't just happen overnight.
The levels just get harder.
Every match is a big match.
It's pretty ruthless. You have to win or you go home.
Inside top 100, you get into main draw of Grand Slam, and that's where everyone wants to compete.
We're trying to be the best we can be.
Always trying to prove other people wrong, really.
Okay, this will be interesting.
Yeah, definitely looks nicer today. Those guys.
This is probably the tournament in the year that's closest to home for you then, is it, apart from Wimbledon?
Yeah, I'd say, Wimbledon's probably the closest one, but this one is pretty close. It's so nice to stay at home.
My name's Miyazaki and I'm a professional tennis player. I started tennis probably when I was about 4 or 5 years old. My dad played a little bit socially, and then my brother, who's 2 years older than me, joined a tennis club, and I used to copy everything that he did, so I kind of tagged along with him. And this was when I was living in Japan, because I was born there, lived there for about 5 years.
It's actually quite weird to stay at home during a tournament, but it definitely, I really like it because you can obviously stay in your own bed, do all your usual routines. It's so close to where you live, train, and I grew up in this area as well, so I definitely feel quite comfortable.
It's the first time, or one of the only times in the year you're really able to be at base a lot more, and you just obviously you feel a lot more comfortable than being on the road 24/7 in hotels or whatever it is.
Being at home and being in your home country, you don't have to travel far to tournaments.
Home's home, so you can't kind of replicate that.
Last year was good, made semis, so I hope I can have a good run again, but I have a tough round today against Harriet, so we'll see. I'll just take it match by match.
Welcome to a sunny Lexus Surbiton trophy.
We're kicking off today with Paul Jubb in action.
Well, it's the toughest possible first round matchup by ranking for Brit Paul Jubb. Alex Mickelson is the top seed here in Surbiton, so Jubb will need to be on it from the word go.
For me, I think tennis is mainly mental, especially when you go up in the levels. I think you get to a point where everyone can hit forehands, backhands.
It obviously comes down to how you're playing on the day, but mentally, if you're not there, if you're not fighting, if you're not prepared to give everything, if you're not prepared to work things out, you're not going to win at that level.
It's also a lot about yourself, how tough you are mentally, how composed you are.
There we go, Sam. Come on.
How clearly you're able to think in tough moments, because everyone plays tennis well, at the higher levels you get to. So I put a big emphasis on the mental side, and if you're really strong in that department, you have a good chance of winning, I would say.
So Paul Jubb continuing his momentum from qualifying. That's a strong 6-4 first set.
Having a good mentality is probably one of the best things you can have as a tennis player.
I try and focus on staying in the moment and being myself. It doesn't matter who's on the other end of the court. It's just a tennis ball coming at you every single time.
Well, Mickelson might be finding his grass court feet here. Steady a set from the top seed. Fight back on.
Things can go very wrong very quickly. It's very important to stay very much in the present.
He's been very open about his story, but he obviously comes from a tough background. He's really had to work hard for everything that he's achieved.
When things aren't going so well, that's when he needs to be really mentally strong.
You have to take the responsibility yourself. You look yourself in the mirror and you're the one who has to change it.
top seed toppled in round 1 by a Brit, Paul Jubb, with his first main draw win here at the Lexus Surbiton Trophy.
Next up, Harriet Dart against Lily Miyazaki, our British number 2 and our British number 4.
World number 133 Miyazaki. She's making steady progression. Ranking points to be gained this week if she can navigate the tricky clash of a fellow Brit.
It's a huge honour and privilege to be able to come out and play in front of a home crowd.
Usually when we're out on the road, especially if you're playing on the Futures Tour, you could literally have maybe one person or not even anyone watching if you don't have anyone there with you. So it's just really nice to have support, and yeah, the British crowd are great. They really get behind the players.
When you're not an athlete, that is quite underestimated how much a crowd can help a person on the court.
But also you kind of put pressure on yourself because you have high hopes, high expectations.
She's found the first set, 6-2 in her favour.
When you play against another Brit in one of these tournaments, it's never an easy match because obviously we all know each other's game styles.
A successful start to the 2024 grass court season for Harriet Dart.
As tennis players, we have to be able to lose.
You know, you have to be disappointed, but the next day or the day after, you've got to be back out there practicing, and we are also lucky we get another chance the next week because it's not like we need to be picked in the team. We enter the tournament, we get another chance, and that's also, you know, a very unique part of our sport.
When I lose, I think of ways that I can improve and try and be better for the next week.
Brilliant, lovely, thank you. Hello. Oh, that's working, great. So good afternoon and welcome to the Rothesay Open Nottingham. We will be doing the main draw on this lovely British summer's day. Local player Katie Boulter and defending champion on line 24.
Stop number 2 of the grass court swing sees us arrive here in Nottingham, and we're joined by some of the biggest names in the sport.
Good luck. Thank you.
It's a special time of year for all of us and the Brits, and just to be back playing on home turf, I'm very much looking forward to.
It's been a while since I've been back in Nottingham, and it's been pretty cold already. A lot of rain, it's been tough, but yeah, looking forward to getting some matches on the grass.
I always try and unpack and make sure my stuff is tidy, but that's just kind of as homely as you can make it, I guess. I think throughout the year it's like different ebbs and flows. I actually like kind of being in my own company and to myself.
I think depending on your headspace, it can feel a bit lonely, yeah, especially if you're travelling on your own.
We spend so much time travelling. We spend 30 weeks of the year minimum on the tour and away from home. So having friends on tour is important.
Too much time to yourself, too much time, in your own thoughts and headspace can also be a bit too much. So it's also important to get the balance. Got them. I think I'm pretty much done. Especially weeks like these where all the people, all your friends in tennis who you train with and hang out with, I guess, are in the same tournaments. It's nice, like it does make a difference.
I've been on a little country vibe recently. Like that, clean first time, there we go, for the cameras.
Well, there's finally a break in the rain here at Nottingham, and they'll be delighted about that at the Lexus Nottingham Tennis Centre, where the Rothesay Open is back underway, and last year's champion Katie Boulter is currently taking on Harriet Darby.
The people who I work close with, I think they will tell you, you know, I'm a motivated person, and I'm always looking at how I can progress myself and kind of level up. I think I'm naturally addicted to kind of getting better. You know, hard work pays off, and the amount of successful people who have said that, so it's got to be true. Believing in my tennis and my capabilities has kind of always been there, but I think the mental aspect of being on the pro circuit and the physical aspect has been the two main things that I've had to slowly develop over time. Consistency is so big. Like, I think my game has always kind of had good potential, and I've beaten good players over the years, but in pro tennis you have to repeat that day by day, and I think that's the thing I've been still trying to develop.
In tournaments you have to be very consistent with everything, because you have to look after your energy. You know, if you win a match, then it doesn't matter how long it is or how short it is or how taxing, you know, you've got to play the next day.
Sometimes you've got to win ugly.
Welcome to Wednesday at the Rothesay Open, Nottingham. It's a great British takeover to launch the day on centre court, and here is Jacob Fernley, finished up at Texas Christian University, where a number of players from the UK have taken the college route.
Went to the University of South Carolina. I studied retail management. Don't ask me why. Just did it. Honestly, I was a little kid. Like, I was scrawny, just turned 17-year-old. I think it gave me the ability to grow up faster. Yeah, becoming more of a man and a better tennis player.
I decided to go to college because I wasn't ready physically when I was 18. It was great out there just because I could get so many competitive matches week in, week out. So I could just work on my game in those 4 years that I was there. You
have the NCAAs, which is obviously the big pinnacle of collegiate sports. Managed to get to the final and played Nuno Borges in the final to take home the title.
First set, friendly, listen.
We have a good group of guys, you know, Toby, who went to South Carolina, Jack Pennington-Jones, Jacob Fernley, Johannes Monday, like all those guys, the hard workers, they all want to get better. So I'm not surprised that, you know, they come out the other end, you know, better players.
And he is looking pretty cool here. Set point on serve. Stunning way to finish a very impressive set of tennis from Jake Fernley.
By 6-1, new balls.
1 foot in the quarterfinals. Paul Jubb with a lot to work out here on centre court.
When things aren't going so well, you just have to stay calm and try and find a plan B or a plan C. And sometimes it might be really ugly or something, but you just have to make it work and just find a way.
Oh, that's phenomenal.
The grass is a big opportunity for the Brits. You know, it's shown we've got some good players who have that level.
What a contest here. From being 5-2 down in the second set, Jake Fernley is a tiebreak away from the quarterfinals.
It is really about, per match, I'd say, you know, 4, 5, 6 points. That makes a difference in a match, and the pressure that comes along with that and having to deal with that is really tough.
I mean, it's happened to me twice this year where I've lost more points and won the match, and also once where I've won more points and lost the match. So yeah, it's such a small margin in tennis.
6-5, Fernley.
Match point. Second match point.
It's definitely hard to think point by point, but it is something that I think we all try and do, and it's almost like a must, especially if you're playing on the big stage.
It's another match point. Fourth match point.
It's so important to stay focused. I just understand the importance of every point.
All right then, who's ready for match point 7? Got to give so much credit to Paul Jubb for how he's hung on here.
One settle.
Incredible scenes on centre court. 7 match points saved, and we're going the distance.
He played really well today. I fought hard and managed to give myself a say, and that's something I try and take pride in, is my competitiveness and toughness out on the court, trying to make it tough for my opponents. Just never over to the last point, and like today, you know, hang around and give yourself a chance. Yeah, I'm not meant to be today.
Resilience from Paul Jubb to force the decider. But phenomenal from Fernley to see himself into a first ATP Challenger Tour quarter-final of his singles career.
It's easy as a tennis player to be so consumed into, I've lost this tennis match, it's the end of the world. Everything I do and how people look at me and is determined on, you know, how I hit a tennis ball and if I win this match. And but that's, you know, that's not the case.
You're going to win some, you're going to lose some, but most important thing is to be improving your game.
You're still on the practice court, you're still putting hours in, you're still getting better.
It's important in all areas, mentally, physically, emotionally, you know, what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, how you're how well disciplined you are, how well you're looking after your body, you know, putting in good practices.
You know, all of that stuff pays dividends in the end. You're always setting yourself up for the chance of success, whether that comes, yeah, next week, the week after, the month after. Even if you have a bad week, you keep moving, you keep rolling, you know.
Great to have you with us as we follow today's action at the Lexus Ilkley Trophy.
There can be added pressure playing at home when there are more eyes on you.
An incredible conclusion to an epic week.
Can we do this?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, let's do it.
I think time to decompress is so important.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I view tennis very differently now to I was doing before. The surgery was so big, it was maybe let's see if we can play tennis again.